Thank you, Dale.
Thank you. Sandy.
Yes.
You forgot our anniversary. You don't care about me.
That happens some days.
Lloyd, the way you run your business is deplorable.
Thank you.
Dan, Doug, you have no idea what you're talking about.
What's that?
Carmen, how could you get us into this mess?
You chose to go on.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, would you agree that our lives are sometimes, not always, but sometimes filled with criticism? Some of us more than others. So how do we handle this criticism? How we handle criticism is related to how we perceive ourselves and how we would like others to perceive us. Or a shorter version, it's our self image and our public image. Our self-image consists of beliefs and values that we have about life and about living in general. Our public image is what you want others to think of you. Usually we have a certain way we want others to think of us. And when we are criticized, usually that's going against the way that we want others to think of us. Therefore, it could continue into a conflict and maybe become an argument. There are different responses to criticism. One is we can withdraw. That means we respond with silence. Or in some cases, we can even get up and leave. The problem with that is that gives the speaker or the criticizer actually the problem with that is we tend to lose respect. Another way of response is rationalizing. What that means is we admit to the merit of the criticism. And then we come right back with an explanation. The problem with that is that does give the other person time to find holes in your response. Another way is counter-attacking. I would suggest that you try to stay away from this one. This is how you start an argument. We're trying to divert, when we do that, we try to divert the negative image of ourselves and what we think of us. In other words, we are trying to cover our own faults or the things that we know that we shouldn't be doing. The best way is to respond is responding non-defensively. That opens it up. That way we can respond calmly to the attacker, recognizing the person's need to communicating to us regarding any problem. That way you can determine the problem and hopefully work it out. There are 4 steps to adversatory response. Number one is you need to listen. How do we know how to respond if we don't listen? Number two is acknowledge. Acknowledge the other person. That shows that you are giving them some respect. Another way is ask questions. There's some underlying emotion or feeling sometimes to why they're acting the way they are and saying the things that they are. So if you ask pointed questions, maybe you can find those. Another one is paraphrase. Sometimes we don't understand what they're saying. So if you repeat what they said to you and say, this is what I hear you say, and repeat it back to them. Maybe that's not what they meant. When you respond, it doesn't, and when you acknowledge, that doesn't mean that you agree with them. Just let them know that you heard them. And one more way is to agree with the truth, if there is any truth there to agree with. Just go ahead and agree. Okay, well, I am kind of stupid. I'll have to work on that. This way you can remain calm. You cannot take it personally. And you can use nonverbal listening skills such as leaning forward just a little bit, smiling. If it's a situation where you should be smiling, maybe it's not. I don't know. At this time, I would like to call Deborah Crone-Yates up, and we're going to do a little role play, and you guys can watch and see how I do with this. I'm not an expert at no means, so I will be asking you people for some suggestions afterwards. Everybody welcome Deborah.
Are you the manager of this incompetent facility?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been manager of this incompetent facility?
15 years, ma'am.
Really?
Yes.
So you've had 15 years of practice at how to make it really go bad. I can't believe 15 years you've been on the job and you still get to be manager of this hotel?
Yes, I have 15 years of experience. Is there a problem?
Of course there's a problem.
Okay. Could you explain
Well,
what the problem might be? Or?
Sure, you hire incompetent staff that
Okay.
lose reservations.
Oh, the hotel has lost your reservation.
Yes, I've driven 3 hours to get to this place, and now I don't have a place to stay. I gotta go out on the street, I guess.
Well, we'll try not to have that happen, ma'am. I'm very sorry, first of all, that the hotel has lost your reservation. What is your name, and what was the date that you had called?
Deborah Crone-Yates, and I called 3 months ago.
Do you have a copy of the reservation on
I have
you?
the reservation number. It's 0123FA.
Yes, I see here, Mrs. Yates. Can I call you Mrs. Yates?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I see here that the reservation for some reason had been canceled.
No,
You didn't cancel the
I did
reservation?
not call and cancel the reservation.
Is your
We've been planning this trip for 3 months.
we as you and your husband?
My husband,
Okay. Is
he's out dealing with your valet staff.
Okay. Your husband didn't call and there was no reason for him to call and
No.
cancel the reservation?
I take care of
I
all
am
of our
sorry.
business.
It's obviously our mistake, and I will see what I can do here for you. Unfortunately, our hotel is completely full.
I was supposed to have a king-size room with a view of the pool.
Okay, let me
Non-smoking.
let me make a phone call, and I'll get right back to you. It'll only be a minute. Okay.
I don't want to turn around and have to drive 3 hours to nowhere.
Okay. Look at that. Ma'am, I have some great news.
Great.
I have you booked in a hotel just up the street. It's only about a half of a mile, okay? And the room is going to be the same rate as what you would have been paying here. The room is a suite, and it's overlooking the beach.
Wow,
Would
that does sound nice.
would that be satisfactory to your needs?
I think that would work out very nicely.
Okay. Well, I am so sorry that we had lost or canceled your reservation, and I hope that in the future you will come back with us, and knowing that if in fact that happens again, we will work it out.
Well, I thank you for going the extra mile, and I appreciate it, and in all likelihood, we will be back.
Okay. I just want to open it up for any discussion or questions for a couple of minutes. Obviously, there was a few things that I didn't do right. For one thing, my body language was terrible. I was standing there like this, and I kind of back up. But is there any other suggestions or questions that anyone might have?
You didn't greet her. She had to greet you.
Okay, that's a good point. Yes.
It took a while to diagnose the problem. I think no matter if you is there a problem? How
Mhm.
can I do to help you? Right on top of it.
Okay.
Your tone of voice could have been more empathetic. And I think if you were to start off when she first came in her first negative comment, maybe you could have said, "You seem pretty upset. I wonder how I can help you. Tell me how I can help you."
Good, good.
Immediately, right from the beginning. And
Good.
a little bit more of interested in wanting to help her. You were too blasé.
Okay. Thanks. Sandy,
Don't use the word problem.
don't use the word, that's a negative.
Very negative.
Okay, good.
So stay positive, and I don't think you used it, but maybe once. But you want to make sure that you stay really positive, and that can be very hard in an adversity like that.
Any other questions or remarks?
I think you did a great job. You could have took the easy route. Oh, we'll find another room for you. But you said, sorry, there are no rooms available in our hotel. You could have made that an easy speech, but you gave a good solution to a difficult, egg in your face type of situation. But you handled it well.
Thanks. On that note, I will say that that's probably why, one of the reasons why I no longer work in the hotel industry. And I would like to turn it back over to our Toastmasters.